Okay, please. I have to go ahead and quickly preface that I promise this isn't anything weird, okay? I mean, it is weird, all right, but it's not what it looks like, okay? All right. This is a big one. This is a big one. So I'm going to need to prepare myself. I'm going to make some quick affirmations, okay? I am safe. I am loved. I am cared for. I am strong and I am capable. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, good puppy. All right, time to start. So this all begins when I was very little. Like I'd say probably since I was maybe 4 years old, probably before I even got into kindergarten. Okay, I was navigating a lot of confusing feelings. Now, what are these confusing feelings, you might ask? Well, okay. I had a very strange fascination with the concept known as vore. All right, if you don't know what that is, it's short for vorophilia, which, as defined by a Google search I just made, is a sexual fetish or fantasy involving the act of eating or being eaten alive, typically depicted in art, literature, and animation rather than acted out in real life. Thank goodness for that. It often centers on being swallowed whole, representing themes of merging, control, or extreme intimacy. Yeah, it's kind of weird, okay? I've known a lot of people who have been genuinely, really, really into it, and they typically always start the exact same way that, like, it happened to me, okay? Typically they were introduced to it very, very young through some sort of like cartoons or something, and then later on in life it morphed into like a sexual fetish for them or something. It's so freaking weird, bro. It's so weird. All right, but my story goes like this, okay? Before I was even 5 years old, I was just completely entranced by the thought and idea of being swallowed whole. This was like mainly a thing. Like the only reason why I ever really thought about this was because of like a bunch of like cartoons I used to watch. So like a few examples were like, for instance, the snake from Jungle Book. For some reason, I thought that was super hot. I kind of liked the idea of being constricted by that snake and then just like eaten alive. I thought that was the bomb for some reason. Another example, this one's a little bit nicher, okay? There was an episode of Back in the Barnyard. I can't remember what it's called. It was something like udder. It was some pun involving the word udder. It doesn't matter, but that involved a gigantic mutated corn monster alien thing that ate all the townsfolk, just swallowed them all whole. And that one's kind of weird because it actually wasn't really at all graphic or anything like that. It was incredibly abstract, but for some reason, I still kind of liked it. I don't know why. I don't know. I shouldn't be saying I liked it. I mean, I was interested in it. Okay, I was fascinated by it. Another example was from the movie Ant Bully. There's a part where some of the characters get eaten alive by a frog. Um, yeah, okay. Kind of a weird thing to admit, but all of these things, they got me kind of hard, which is weird. I mean, considering the fact that I hadn't even gone through puberty. Matter of fact, I had a while before I was ever going to hit puberty. Matter of fact, I mean, I was a late bloomer too. So I mean, really, if that explains anything at all, like this is like really weird. All right, but yeah, there's more though. All right, there's more. It gets deeper. It just keeps on getting deeper. Okay. There was at one point an instance where I had gotten a hold of one of my sister's Barbie dolls. And I also had army men, all right, these little toy army men. Remember those things? And for some reason, I don't know what was going on in my head, but I would like I would like be in my room or whatever with the door closed and I would play with the Barbie doll and these army men and pretend that the Barbie doll was either eating all of the army men alive or voring them vaginally. That's a really weird thing to say. I'm sorry. Okay, that is a really weird thing to say. Yeah, that happened. It was really really weird. I don't know why that happened, and this wasn't just a one time thing either. This was like something I looked forward to in the day, dude. Like I would like we it's like my parents would be like, all right guys, we're going to the zoo, and like we're at the zoo, and the entire time I'm thinking, man, I can't wait to go home and freaking vore the army man with the freaking Barbie doll. I was just I was obsessed with it. I don't know. But I could stop whenever I wanted though. All right, I could stop whenever I wanted, so it doesn't count. So I think that was like definitely one of the weirder ones. One of the more vivid ones. One of the ones that actually used my imagination and mostly hinted at like the commonly known standard of vore. There was also another thing. There was this web series on YouTube called Epic Mind Quest. Really bad, by the way, like ridiculously bad. And I was too young to watch it too. I think my older sister introduced me to it because she knew I liked Minecraft, so she tried to get me on it. It was really weird. I don't remember how old I was when I watched that. It was really, really weird. Lots of lots of profanity, lots of, sex jokes and things like that. And I remember there was one scene in particular where these main characters were like walking around in a plains biome, and all of a sudden, a slime lands on them and just freaking eats them, okay? Like that's what happens. And then it keeps on like bouncing along, and the characters are still stuck in it for like a really long time. And I don't know why, but I really liked that. I liked the idea of just like being completely constricted, unable to move even a single muscle. So that's weird, okay? I don't know how to feel about that even today. Looking back at it, like I think it's really, really weird. And again, this is stuff that like, I mean, it didn't exactly like turn me on. It didn't make me, like it didn't make me horny or anything, obviously, because I was too young. But I genuinely got hard whenever I like even thought about this stuff. It was like constant, 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 constant. Every single freaking time I would watch a cartoon and something like that would happen, I would get a crazy, rock hard, raging boner. It was wild, okay? Now, what was even like the appeal of this for me? I mean, to put it simply, I don't know. It felt like it made me feel so safe for some reason. It made me feel so safe. I don't know why I was putting on that weird voice. Ignore that. That was, I don't know why I did that. It was kind of creepy. No, it made me feel kind of safe. It made me feel like someone else was in control or something, maybe. I mean, I don't really know. It felt like really like close. Does that make sense? Like it made me feel like sort of like I don't know, like being held by my mom or something, and that sort of feeling made me kind of I guess euphoric. Like obviously like the closeness coupled with, the inability to move, the darkness, the warmth of it all. I mean, the wetness. I mean, okay, that was gross. But you get me though. All right. All of it, it kind of went hand in hand, and I kind of felt like all of it was super like interesting to me. Like I don't know, it just like felt so like unique and like uniquely intimate. I don't know how to put it, man. It's just so weird. But like this is like so freaking strange. Okay, this is the weirdest part because like how does this even tie into how I am today? How does this affect me today? What does this do to me? What toll does this have on my mental capabilities? I mean, come on, people. The questions are endless. What does this mean? Okay? This is gonna blow your mind, all right? But today, not even in the slightest, okay? Vore doesn't do a thing to me. Matter of fact, I think it's disgusting. I would go as far as to say that it doesn't even make me hard anymore. That's strange. I don't know what happened, okay? I went basically my entire childhood before puberty being surrounded by the idea of like being eaten alive, and at the same time feeling like, I felt like immense comfort in it all. I fantasized about it, and I freaking loved the idea of it. I thought it was awesome, dude. It was like I mean, for lack of a better analogy, it was like you put awesome sauce on an epic plate of bodaciousness. I mean, this was top stuff, people. I mean, like this is like crack for kids. I mean, come on. And here's the craziest part, dude. Now, nothing. Nothing at all, dude. Matter of fact, there have been times I've accidentally come across it. I mean, because obviously, I mean, I don't actively seek this stuff out, okay? But every single time I do come across something that has like vore themes to it or whatever, the first thought that's running through my head is this is disgusting and I don't want to look at this anymore. Matter of fact, I want to turn my head away. I don't know what's up with that, okay? My best guess is that either I just kind of like grew out of it. Maybe this was just kind of like a morbid passing thought of mine, an intrusive thought or something, and maybe I just went too much into it because I had stupid poo poo children brain, and it kind of just like made me think about that stuff way too much because I couldn't control my own head. No freaking idea, man. But maybe also there was like, I mean, there also was kind of a time when I was maybe like 9 or 10 where I stepped away from watching TV and stuff and like stuff like that. So maybe like, I don't know, the fact that I was playing a bunch of video games instead, like Minecraft or something. I mean, maybe that's why I distanced myself from that. And then that distance kind of made me less and less interested in it over time. That's a guess, okay? An educated guess at best. I don't freaking know, man. It was so freaking weird. Um, yeah, this is an interesting thing to be admitting. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. I don't even know what the first thing was, dude. I don't even know what the first thing I saw was that made me start thinking like this. If I had to guess, it's probably either Jungle Book or Ant Bully. The scene with the freaking the frog that ate all the main characters or whatever. Maybe, okay? I don't freaking know though. It just like it's so freaking weird. I was surrounded by so many weird cartoons with monsters eating people alive, and for some reason I was strangely excited by it. I think so. Okay, that's a little bit weird. Okay, alright, whatever. I'm ranting. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up. In conclusion, okay, kids are super stupid and really susceptible to ridiculously stupid things, okay? Kids' brains are like crazy malleable, all right? You show them anything, okay, and tell them it's candy, they're gonna believe you, all right? They're gonna believe you, they're gonna believe that it's candy, and they're gonna keep eating it like it's candy, okay? It doesn't matter if it's a freaking rubber eraser, it doesn't matter, all right? They're gonna keep eating it because it's colorful, and it's pretty or whatever, all right, man? It's freaking crazy, all right? Anything I have to say, if there's any one thing I have to say, all right, dude, please, for the love of all that is holy, okay, if you got kids, maybe just like be a little bit mindful, okay? That doesn't mean you can't show them any cartoons or you have to be super overprotective about it, but like use your own judgment. Use your own judgment. Maybe maybe don't let them be on like YouTube completely by themselves 24 hours a day, because honestly YouTube is where the real bad stuff is. That's where you find like actual vore that like gets children hooked on it or whatever. Then later in their life, it becomes some freaking crazy fetish that they literally cannot get rid of. What the heck? I swear, dude, there is like no freaking way that any of this is genetic at all. Like it just has to be like entirely like a nurture based thing, dude. I mean, seriously, okay? It's crazy. All right. Anyways, though, I have nothing else to say. Thank you for listening to me rant about vore and how much I freaking loved it as a kid and how yada 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 whatever. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna end it there. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.